My next guest, she's on the line right now. I've been trying to get this young lady on the line for a long time on Money Making Conversation. I consider her an incredible talent, one of the true millennial leaders of this country moving forward. Her many talents include she's a tattoo artist, she's a painter, entrepreneur, philanthropist, social media influencer, which is very important these days, reality TV star, and educated in mathematics. Please welcome to Money Making Conversations, Kat Tat.
Hey, Rashawn, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, what city are you calling from?
I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Good.
Up in Philly.
I'm happy to get you on the phone because I'm a big fan. Okay, let me just get that out the way. Big fan of yours.
Likewise.
And I know we've been trying to connect up since early December. And I'm so appreciative that you came on to my new launch in Atlanta. I'm excited. This is my first show in Atlanta. And I wanted to bring a brand like yours on the air on my premiere show because all those things I mentioned, entrepreneur, philanthropist, a TV star. But the thing that I love the most, because my degree, Kat Tat, is in mathematics.
Uh-huh.
That's my degree.
Oh, wow.
I graduated with a degree from the University of Houston in mathematics with a minor in sociology. So, I love you. So tell us about that college life, where it all started. You went down to the University of Missouri, studying math. How did all this tattoo, all this skill set, what drove you to this direction? Let's talk about that first.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your Atlanta launch, and thank you so much for having me. But I always possessed the talent of art. Like, it was something I like to do in my free time. And I guess towards your senior year of high school is when everybody starts to get tattoos. So that's when people would start asking me to sketch their tattoo ideas. But my passion in high school was really math. I was always really, really good at that.
Absolutely.
I wasn't always the best student. I was more focused on, just drawing and things like that. But my ACT score is what actually got me into college. So I graduated with a regular GPA. I think I had a 2.0 when I graduated. But I ended up scoring, I think, a 29 or a 30 in the math department.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, in the math department on the ACT. So I actually ended up getting chosen for a scholarship program that was for students of color with either low GPAs and high test scores or low test scores and high GPAs. And we had to go through a transition program in order to get the scholarship. So I completed the transition program. It was like summer school. And that's when I ended up getting my scholarship in mathematics. And I went on to study math education. And that is where I began tattooing in my dorm room. I had so much free time during summer school. I just ordered up a kit. So I was, a halfway tattoo artist and a halfway student for a while.
Okay, Kat Tat, I'm gonna tell you something. You cannot. Now in college, I was making pizza in my dorm room. So please don't act like I just started tattooing. How did you gain the confidence? Because this is something that's very complicated and very something permanent. How did you gain the confidence in yourself first of all, and then the potential clients that would allow you to tattoo them?
Well, I was fearless. And that's one thing. When you're 18 and, you go away from home for the first time and you're meeting all these people, there was just something in the air. I was literally fearless. I didn't overthink it. I didn't think about the consequences. I could have gotten in a lot of trouble tattooing in my dorm. But, there were only 35 students chosen for this transition program, the scholarship program. So we automatically got really close. So when I ordered that kit, they just trusted me. I don't know why, but they just let me practice on them. And
don't say the word practice, please. Don't say the word.
it was practice. No, but worse than that, they let me take a risk.
Right. That's awesome.
But thank you. But I'm not gonna lie, I had no business taking that route, but it worked out for me. And then by the time the real school year started, I was good enough to actually lay down some $20 tattoos. And then from there, I just got better and better and started working in professional shops, and it just took on a life of its own.
Now, this is very important that That's one of the reasons I created Money Making Conversation, just to show this is a value that you have, that even at a young age. I always tell people who get it at a young age, I feel are just so amazing. That's why at a young age you knew this is what you wanted to do. And so
Yeah.
you were driven by faith, by confidence, by you can't, the world can't stop me. And that's one of the linchpins to your success. And can you share that value with my listeners and my viewers?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. People always ask me, like, what got you into tattooing? What started you? And that, like I just explained to you, I felt like it was something that found me. Like the second that I started it, it felt right. And, even though I had ups and downs with, you know what I mean, starting in my dorm rooms and practicing, trial and error, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do.
Right.
So I was going to, by any means necessary, get good at it. And that required me, walk into every local tattoo shop like, hey, I want to do this, and I got turned down by a lot of them, but I was very, very persistent. And once I had my mind set on it, there was nothing that was going to stop me.
Okay. Where did you really get your foothold in tattooing? What city?
In Columbia, Missouri.
Okay. And then you transitioned
That
to
is
where?
To Chicago.
And that's when you got turned down a lot.
No, I got turned down a lot while I was in college because the local, it's a small town, it's a small college town.
Right.
And I would walk to those local shops and I'd be like, hey, I'm do this. I'm starting in my dorm. And they were like, you're what? Like, you can get in a lot of trouble for that. Why are you trying to be a tattoo artist if you're a math major? And
right.
That's what I want to do. So Chicago.
So you were being insulted. You were being shut down because you smart, though. You're smart.
Yes.
That's funny. That's funny. So you're Chicago, and so you started to become, because once you get on TV, social media starts coming in your direction. Your brand starts growing. They say once you hit over 50,000 followers in any platform, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, you are an influencer. How did that change your role as a not only a tattoo talent, but as a person? Because now the world knows who you are, not only on TV but socially.
Yeah, before the TV show, I think I had a okay following. I think I had like 30,000 followers,
yes,
and
ma'am.
I would just post tattoos all the time because I wanted to be proof. I didn't post any pictures of myself. I literally would post pictures of tattoos all the time because I got rejected by the tattoo world so much. You know what I mean? So I wanted to prove that I was a great tattoo artist and I'm taking this seriously. So when we got the platform of the TV show and my following began to grow, it allowed me to open up about who I was. So the world got to see me tattoo, so they know I'm a great tattoo artist. Now I get to show the world who I am and share my story, that I am a regular girl from Chicago who went to a university, who started like this, and really, show the world who I am. So it just allowed me to really open up about myself and reach out to other girls and, other young men and just other people like me and really share my story. And that has an effect on people. People want to get to know the person, behind the ink and behind whatever you do. So it definitely allowed me to.
I love it because when I hear your voice, I hear a certain genuine mentorship. That you're willing to share, you're willing to open up. Because the reason I'm excited about you interviewing you is that you talk about your setbacks and you didn't let you didn't let people telling you or pigeonhole you or tell you put you in a box. You're supposed to look a certain way. You're supposed to do a certain thing to be a tattoo artist. You took risk. And that's a value that a lot of people run from. And you didn't.
Yeah.
And you didn't. Why? Why didn't you run when they told you got a math degree? Why didn't you need to stop tattooing in the dorm? Why didn't you run?
I'm very, very strong in my faith.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm just a strong believer. When something feels right,
yes,
you can't ignore that.
Good. Say it. Speak it.
If you're doing something, that is not what God has for you, it doesn't sit right with you, if that makes sense. Like when you're following your purpose and walking in the right path, God shows you signs that it's what you're supposed to be doing. So tattooing, just from day one, I knew that it was what I was supposed to be doing. So there was no
Awesome.
man
Awesome.
or no thing that could steer me away from what my purpose was.
Cat Tat, we're going to come back in a minute. We're going to talk about your art shows, your tattoo clients, and your clothing line on Money Making Conversations. Hey, this is Rashawn McDonald. I'm on the phone, or she's on the phone, with for out of Los Angeles, Cat Tat. She's one of the reality stars on the VH1 series, Chicago Black Ink. And I got on the phone, and really, because she studied math in college, and I have a degree in math. So, there was a mutual kinship and amazing level of respect. But I wanted to go back a little bit about tattoos. So sometimes people think tattoos just suddenly started currently. I'm a big fan of the Vikings on the History Channel, one of my favorite TV shows. If you look at that TV show, everybody got a tattoo. Everybody got a tattoo on Vikings, because tattoos didn't just start last week. So it's an art form that has a lot of history, and and tattoos also are tied to spirit, to faith. So it's a lot of things that people aren't aware of why people get tattoos, and there's always a great story behind every tattoo. Correct, Cat Tat?
I would say about 50-50. I think some people get tattoos for the sentimental, or for spiritual reasons. And I think that, especially now, I think people are just big fans of the artwork, and a lot of people just like to collect the art.
Because they are bodies of art, and that's an amazing thing. So that's interesting. You said that about, some people get it on faith, and some people just get it. I want a tattoo. Okay. Is there a waiting period? Now we're getting into the tattoo world. Is there a waiting period to get a tattoo? If I just came in and say, I want an eagle on my chest, do you say, hey, wait, come back tomorrow? How does that process of getting a tattoo, how does that work?
Well, there are so many amazing tattoo artists out there today. And if you really, really want a big tattoo or, anything, then I would recommend doing your research and finding a great artist that you like. And the chances are, if they're a great artist, they're going to have a small waiting list or a big waiting list. I know artists that are booked up for years, and then I know some artists that are, booked up for a couple weeks. But the chances are, that there is going to be a small waiting list.
Okay. What is your client list? Because I know people listen, okay, who is she in tatted up? Who has she done on that athlete side or the celebrity side? Just give us a free rundown of some of the famous people that is wearing the tattoo artwork of Cat Tat.
Well, I've tattooed a lot of athletes, a lot of football players. Jamie Collins, he played with the Patriots. Shane Ray.
Now he's with Arizona, right? Jamie Collins with Arizona, right? Linebacker, correct?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm a sports guy, so I'm sorry. Yeah, he's with Arizona now. I'm a sports guy, so so you just tatting up people. I'm a sports nut.
Yeah, when they come in my chair, all that stuff, goes out the window. But I was lucky enough to tattoo him right after they won the Super Bowl. So
there you go.
I got the Super Bowl ring and everything. So, but yeah, I tattooed Shane Ray. We did a huge back piece on him, and that actually got picked up. That was all over ESPN because he's with the Denver Broncos, and he had just won a Super Bowl with the Broncos, but he's from Kansas City. So he got a Kansas City back piece, and there was a Kansas City Chiefs logo incorporated in that.
Wow.
So, the Twitter fans, ripped him apart.
I know.
But, I tattooed a lot of
hated rivalries.
Yeah, exactly. I was not expecting that outcome. I'm just, doing the tattoo. But I woke up the next day and literally it was on Rolling Stone magazine, ESPN.
This is what I love about you, Cat Tat. You're just an artist. You're just an artist. People come in, okay, you look muscular. You play for Super Bowl. Okay, cool. Lay down. And that means that you're 100% vested in your craft, which means you're an artist. Tell us about your whole paintings and all these things that are just that are going down that leads to the clothing line, because you're an entrepreneur. That's what this show is about, entrepreneurs.
Yes, absolutely. So with painting is a little different than tattooing. Tattooing, you're providing a service for someone else. It has to be perfect. And when I'm painting is when I can just kind of release whatever is in my mind, whatever I'm feeling, and there's room for, there's no pressure. Like if there's not that pressure of messing up, not that there is with tattooing because I'm a professional, but,
Right,
it's just,
right.
it's my expression, my creativity. So it's a little bit different. And I actually started painting after I started tattooing. Like I said, I've always drawn and, sketched and things like that. But I got into painting more a few years ago, and I've been having a few art shows just to, show the world that I'm
So
not
we can
only
buy
a
your art.
tattoo
We can buy your art.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I just sold, I had a show here in Los Angeles a couple months ago. It was called Model Type. And I sold half the paintings of that collection, and then the ones that are left over on my website, cattackgirl.com. But my paintings are big. They're large-scale paintings, and not everybody can afford an original. So that's where I came up with my clothing line, because I know my following, and my following does consist of a lot of young girls and young women who, may not have a big home yet to purchase that huge canvas. So I created a clothing line so that they can wear my art, you know what I mean, and still have a piece of it.
That's
so
awesome.
my clothing just has my paintings featured on it.
So where could they go, Cat Tat, to get your art, to get the clothing line? Let's go and be business people now. Where can they go, Miss Entrepreneur?
Yeah, they can go to my website, cattackgirl.com.
And they can find the paintings. It's on the navigation bar. They just right there on the homepage. Click it. Same thing with the clothing
No.
line.
Yeah, once you go to my homepage, if you scroll down, you see a little bit of my blog, but there's a menu bar on the left-hand side, and they can see paintings, and it will take you to that.
Okay. Now, Chicago, where you blew up. Then you moved to Los Angeles. Chicago to Los Angeles. Why?
I want to take this as big as it can possibly go.
Okay,
and
now you're not gonna be a reality star that just goes with the show. You've seen the big picture now, huh?
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. Like in Chicago, the show is based off Chicago. It's
Absolutely.
called Black Ink for Chicago, and I think that's not to say that's where it ends, but there's just so much more opportunity past the TV show, and with my art and with my talent. Like I don't want to get caught up in the 15th minute of fame. Like I'm here to extend that and, to really, really make my art have a lasting impression. And in LA, it's just so much opportunity to grow. And I mean, the opportunity out here is just really, really endless. So I chose to move out here and, see where I can really take it.
Okay, so it's a bit just asking transitional. You knew your ground. You're in Chicago. You obviously some people also advised you that would be a good move. Any bumps or any successes you want to tell us about, or I'm just about motivating people, because you keep making these dramatic moves that a lot of people stop. A lot of people, went on and gotten that math degree and just went on being a teacher or worked for some giant corporation like IBM, like I did, and then went to Chicago. You Black Ink, you're a star. You're beautiful. You tattooing stars, or athletes. They train in teams. You don't even know about them. All you know, they got Super Bowl rings. So you first in line on that. So you know how to get publicity. Now you say, I'm not satisfied. I'm going to LA. How do you do these things? I just want you to tell the listeners, don't let them stop their success stories.
Yeah, I'm really, really glad you asked that. And that's one of the most positive things that I've gotten from the TV show. And just like we spoke earlier, my social media platform, because people can, it's easy for me to tell my story. Like, yeah, I, became a tattoo artist. I got on a TV show. I moved to LA, and it can seem easy, but I try to be an open book because I have gone through so many different ups and downs with, deciding to leave college. I stayed in college and wasted so much money and, loans and for 3 years before I decided that I was going to put 100% into tattoos. And then even with that, I'm a regular girl. I've dealt with relationship problems. I've dealt with, moving across the country and losing all your money. Not every art show that I've had was a huge success.
Right.
But
That's what
I've had a plan. I've had an end goal. So as long as you stay focused on that end goal, you're going to have ups and downs. But as long as you keep going, it's okay, you know? So that's important for me as well, to just show, like, you know, it's not always going to be a smooth ride. You will go through things, but you can keep going. Don't let it knock you off your track, and just keep staying focused, and you'll get there, you know?
You're amazing. You're amazing. Let me tell you, you're amazing, okay? Give out that website one more time before we close out the show. Cat Tat, give us that website.
Yes. It's cattatgirl.com. So it's KATTATGIRL.
She's a tattoo artist, a painter, entrepreneur, philanthropist, social media influencer, reality TV star, and she's been educated in mathematics. Cat Tat, thank you for calling on my show.
Thank you so much for having me. It was truly a pleasure.
You're a fan. I'm a fan, and anything you need promoted. I'm an influencer too now. I'll do it for you.
Yes.
Be safe and,
and
keep being special and keep changing lives, okay?